We got some bombshell reports on the Vikings quarterback position coming in from ESPN that we're going to be diving into on today's edition of Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Seatman, back in the studio, fired up to talk some Vikings football with you guys. So let's kick it to Dan Graziano here. Him and Jeremy Fowler writing up an article recently for ESPN and had some big-time nuggets on the Vikings quarterback position. Him saying this, the Vikings are not ready to give up on J.J. McCarthy, their 2024 first-round pick, who missed his rookie season because of a high knee injury and struggled mightily through an injury-riddled second season in 2025. But they also aren't ready to hand McCarthy the keys for 2026. And I think if you asked the Vikings brass and you had Kevin O'Connell behind closed doors and you went up to him and said, hey, what is your ideal situation for how this quarterback situation plays out next season? I think they would flatly say, we bring in competition. J.J. McCarthy and whoever that competition is, duke it out during training camp. J.J. McCarthy takes a ton of strides. He really takes the reins of this offense. His teammates are buying into him. And then McCarthy obviously stays healthy for all 17 games, and he wins a starting job. Because if that happens and McCarthy looks like a legit starter, all of these QB rumors, all of this QB discussion just gets thrown out the window. You have that franchise guy. However, even if you do truly believe in McCarthy and you think he's going to beat somebody out, you need to bring in a high-end backup quarterback just for injury insurance. Like, you can't just roll in the next season with J.J. McCarthy, Carson Wentz, and Max Brosmer again. If they do that, I mean, you should just fire the entire staff, but they won't do that. And two guys that they're keeping their eyes out on are actually Kyler Murray and Geno Smith. Graziano saying this, the odd quarterback landscape of this offseason makes it difficult to predict where the Vikings land. But if and when someone such as Geno Smith or Kyler Murray gets cut, I could see Minnesota pursuing that kind of passer on a low-cost, one-year prove-it deal. Now, I would be shocked if it's anybody but these two guys bringing in for competition with J.J. McCarthy this offseason. Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals quarterback, Geno Smith just recently with the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I fully expect Kyler Murray to get cut before the March 15th deadline where he has a bonus in his contract kicking in. We'll get some more news about Kyler this week. Also, Geno Smith will also likely be cut, even though ESPN floated out there that there could be a market for a Geno Smith trade. So that's something to keep your eyes out on. But we'll talk about these two guys coming up. Also kick it to Jeremy Fowler here in a second. But if you guys could, hit that subscribe button today. We are closing in here on 70,000 subs on YouTube. And the Vikings, they cut Hargrave, they cut Aaron Jones yesterday, but there are more roster moves coming. And we will get you guys at least 2 videos a day, and also live shows are back. We're going live twice a week for the foreseeable future. We'll be live later today at 4 p.m. Central Time, so tune in then. And also, we're just 16 subs away from 70,000. So if you guys could help us out, hit that subscribe button today. Just need 6 more of you guys to do just that. All right, Jeremy Fowler was talking about it, and he said this, and I've also heard that the Vikings are considering Murray and Smith as they outline their veteran quarterback plan. Tua Tagovailoa and Cousins are also on their radar. Some I've talked to are breaking those 4 into 2 tiers with Murray and Smith in the first group. None of those quarterbacks are free agents, but Cousins will be soon, and the others are available via either a trade or a release. The expectation league-wide is a combination of Murray, Smith, and Tagovailoa, and possibly all 3 will be free agents soon enough, barring intensified trade talks. And many quarterbacks view Minnesota as an attractive destination. Smith possibly joining the Vikings has been underplayed as a pairing in league circles, but it makes a lot of sense. He's due $18.5 million in 2026. Guarantees, but also has another $8 million that guarantees on the 3rd day of the new league year. He also offers a bridge QB cover if the team doesn't want to bail on McCarthy and show a true quarterback competition even if veiled. So I think it is clear to me. Excuse me. Kyler Murray and Geno Smith are the top 2 options for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, both these guys, I think, are complete opposites in terms of quarterbacks the Vikings could bring in. Because you have a guy like Geno Smith, who I think has a higher floor for the offense next season compared to Kyler Murray, because I think he is more of a wild card. But Geno Smith, the floor is a lot higher. But also Kyler Murray, I think he's the opposite, where the ceiling is a lot higher with him, where if he is hitting the top peaks of his play, being the former number 1 overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner, we have not seen him play his best football yet in his NFL career, where Geno Smith, I could argue in Seattle, that is the best football he's ever played. And I think the worst case scenario for the Minnesota Vikings is this. is you do bring in Geno Smith, and J.J. McCarthy can't beat him out. That would be a disaster. Because Geno Smith, I think it's just flatly, and this is why I truly don't believe the Vikings are signing Geno Smith. And maybe this doesn't mean anything, but just optically, I don't think the Vikings can do it. You let Sam Darnold go. He signed with the Seattle Seahawks after Seattle, a couple weeks before, traded Geno Smith. So it was a huge mistake. You let Sam Darnold out the door. He signed with the Seattle Seahawks. He wins a Super Bowl. Are you going to go sign the quarterback that Seattle, the same offseason, they brought in Sam Darnold, traded away for a third-round pick, and then you're going to bring that guy into your organization? I just think optically that makes no sense. That's why I have my doubts on the Vikings signing Geno Smith. But if you, let's just say, believe in J.J. McCarthy and you think he's going to win this quarterback battle and you think he's got a lot more juice left in the tank, as a pure backup quarterback, okay, Geno Smith's my guy. Like, if I just wanted a guy who's going to be a veteran, who's going to help McCarthy, if he needs to step in for 4 weeks, win a couple of playoff games, Geno Smith's my guy. But I don't have that belief in J.J. McCarthy just yet. I think he needs to take a lot more maturing. I think he needs to obviously fix his mechanics and just be a better grown-up in the National Football League. But if you want to try to catch lightning in a bottle, and you want to say, hey, this 2026 season with a stacked roster, still a really good coaching staff, we think we could get the most out of Kyler Murray. The most out of Kyler Murray and him reaching his potential is the Vikings winning a playoff game, if not multiple. He still has that type of potential. And, I've seen other people say, like, all right, well, Geno Smith, he was so good in Seattle, but then last year with the Raiders, the Raiders were a disaster. Can you really blame him for the quarterback play he had? Can you blame Kyler Murray for the quarterback play he's had in Arizona over the last couple of years? Arizona's been a disaster. His 2 coaches are Cliff Kingsbury and Rich Gannon, or Jonathan Gannon, not Rich Gannon. Like, I just think Kyler Murray is one of those guys who fits that bucket of a highly drafted quarterback, bad organization. Let's get him to Minnesota, a team he grew up rooting for. He's going to feel rejuvenated. He's going to be bought back in to getting the best out of himself. If I had to pick one, it's Kyler Murray, and frankly, it's not even close. Unless you truly do believe J.J. McCarthy is the starter. If you view Geno Smith as just a pure backup, and that's what he is, okay, give me Geno Smith as a backup over Kyler. But if you want some real competition and you want to add the most talent you can to the quarterback room, frankly, I think it's Kyler Murray, and it's not close. But you guys pick a QB for me, KM for Kyler Murray or GS for Geno Smith. More thoughts on this coming up in just a second, but I do want to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor, and that is Factor Meals. Now head to factormeals.com/VikingsChat50 off and use promo code VikingsChat50 off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only, varies by plan, but 1 free breakfast item per box for 1 year while your subscription is active. Now, cold days, big goals, and no time to cook. Well, Factor makes healthy eating easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs. So eat well without the planning or cooking. They got quality, functional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. Also, no refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no refined seed oils. And they also have meals that fit your goals and schedule, healthier eating, calorie management, more protein as well. Now, if you guys could, click the link in the comment section and description of today's show and head to factormeals.com/VikingsChat50 off. Use promo code VikingsChat50 off to get 50% off and free breakfast for 1 year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. 1 free breakfast item per box for 1 year while your subscription is active. Now, for me, it's obvious. I'm taking Kyler Murray over Geno Smith. I think that's the right direction for the Vikings this offseason. And, if you view Geno Smith as, obviously a better scheme fit than Kyler Murray, like, you're right on that. Like, Kevin O'Connell, we have seen his system. We have seen his scheme in the past be better with that statuesque pocket passing quarterback. But also, if your biggest concern and the only negative that you can literally say to signing Kyler Murray is the scheme fit, I think that says more about your head coach than you think it does. I don't think that necessarily says as much about Kyler Murray than people are making out to be. I think that says more about Kevin O'Connell because Ben Johnson, Kyler Murray and Caleb Williams are comparable quarterbacks to the way they play the game. Where when they're on time, on structure, still have a lot of growing to do, but when they're off structure, playing backyard football, some of the best in the NFL. Ben Johnson took that job because of Caleb Williams, thinking he could get the most out of him and turn him into a better in-structure quarterback. But then you also get the layers of like, hey, when the play is breaking down and you need a guy to go out there and just make plays, Caleb can do that. So I think the scheme fit argument says more about Kevin O'Connell than it really does about Kyler Murray. And if I am Kevin O'Connell, you should want Kyler Murray. Like, this is a guy where he has to take some steps as a pocket passer. You bring him in, and he goes to another level in your offense. That's a huge tip of the cap to KOC, where it's like, I've done it with the pocket passing quarterbacks of Kirk Cousins. I've done it with the maybe bigger, more mobile, but still a true pocket passing guy in a Sam Darnold. Now I can do it with a 5'10", scampering around quarterback. Like, then he could say, like, hey, my scheme, it fits all. If you're a Kyler Murray, if you're a Mac Jones, if you're an Anthony Richardson, like, you come to my scheme, we will make you successful no matter what archetype of quarterback that you are. So I think KOC should want Kyler Murray. And also, dude, if the Vikings don't win a playoff game this next season, it's going to get hot in Minnesota. His seat will be scorching hot. Kyler Murray is the only option out there that legitimately I will feel like heading into the season, if he is QB1, where it's like, yeah, this team's good enough to win a playoff game. If it's J.J. McCarthy, I think it's an unknown. Where if like, hey, J.J. McCarthy takes steps, maybe the Vikings could win a playoff game. If it's Geno Smith, I'm saying absolutely not. Your floor's a lot higher. You're probably guaranteeing yourself 7 to 10 wins, but you're not winning a playoff game with Geno Smith. So I would go Kyler Murray, take the chance on him. Then if you do bring in Geno Smith, like, J.J. McCarthy better beat him out, because you start Geno Smith week 1. The Vikings, are they a good team? Probably. Are they a great team? Absolutely not. You have no chance of being that with Geno at QB1 next season. But if you guys made it to the end, we appreciate all of you guys for watching. Hit me with a skull down below in the comments section. We'll get on out of here. As always, let's go Vikes.